All right, so Damon, the next question is, hi, I own an all-female private investigation agency. My attorney
Huh.
clients and insurance clients pay me in 60 days on average. This significantly affects my cash flow from month to month. Any suggestions on how to improve my cash flow issues?
I mean, that's the a common problem with any independent businesses. You know, people are net 30, net 60, and net 60 and net 30 means yeah, you get paid in 30 days, or you get paid in 60 days. And if you don't get paid in 60 days, there's really not so much penalties and too much you could do about it. You just gotta fucking wait to get it, and it creates a timing issue. So yeah, cash flow can become an issue when you're dependent on other people paying you. The only thing I could say is have more streams of cash flow. So it's almost like when this one's late, it's almost when it comes in, it's on time because the other one's late. You know what I'm saying? I mean, know that money's always going to come in late. It's never going to. I have timing issues more than anyone on this planet, to be honest. And it's just because I just don't wait. You know, I just don't save for the timing issue. It's just that I'm always like, I gotta put it into the business now while I'm inspired. And I don't be like, oh shit, I might not get paid in 30 days. It's hard to think like that in the moment, but it is something to be conscious of. But the things that do save me, like I said, I'm having a timing issue now. What's saving me is what I invested in 10 years before now. You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's like you always, as an entrepreneur, it's like you always feeding that beast, you know, kind of. And to have some kind of security is almost like doesn't exist. You
Mm.
know, when you have, especially when you got to buy goods. Buying goods is really like it seems like she doesn't have to buy any goods, so it's all right. That might fuck her bills up. But imagine if you're supposed to get paid in 30 days and you have to physically use the money from that to go make some more product to ship in 60 days. And if you don't get the money now to make it, you're gonna be late for the things you have to ship in the future, and then you start to lose a lot of money. That's the fashion business. That's what happens all the time. Also, maybe get a bank to give you a credit line. So if you know the money's coming and you have a timing issue, pay a couple points on it, and you just give it right back. But you got to always give it right back because the more you loan, the more interest you're gonna pay.
Yeah, I found that there's a whole massive multi-billion-dollar industry that's developed around helping small businesses deal with short-term cash flow issues. Like, there's a company called Cabbage, spelled with a K, and all they do is loan you money, money to help you get past that 30, 60-day issue. PayPal's starting to do it. They got peer-to-peer lending. They get,
It's the interest rate though, because that's the thing
yeah,
is you short-term lending is expensive.
yes,
So
it
you know
is. Yes, it
those
is.
the whole that's not a new business by the way.
Well,
People
well,
make
I mean, they always had loan sharks and stuff, right? But
yeah, it's not. It's been on sharking forever, but it's just a little more legal. But also, there's funds that do that. You know, like there's funds that wait for strikes with athletes and wait for things like that for people they know that are going to get money later. That'll pay 10 points and shit like that on it. You know, so they don't feel that timing issue. But short-term lending is usually expensive. You know, people usually rob you for that because they know you're in distress. They know it's emergency, and I've gotten caught up with that as well. You know, where I start to, that's what happened with my those foreclosures I had that time was because I had a demand to buy inventory for Rachel Roy, and I didn't have the cash that I thought I had because of fucking Barry Clawberg. You know, I had like a note. I had a note for $5 million that I thought was liquidated, and I ended up that the note could only be liquidated for half of what the value of it was. So it was for 5 million and ended up I had to liquidate it for 2.5. So I was 2.5 short, thinking I had 5 million. So I had to go refinance one of my houses and the interest rate, for quick money. And the interest rate was so crazy that, after a couple of months, I couldn't pay it anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, my shit went from 20,000 to 80,000, some stupid shit like that. You know what I mean? So just borrowing money can be expensive, especially when you're in distress and people know it. They'll shit on you. They'll shit
yeah,
on you.
well, I agree with you. I mean, I would say that if you're gonna do that short-term lending, just only do it in case of emergency. Try to find cheaper ways to get the money. A
I think a credit line is the best because a
yeah,
credit line you only pay for what you borrow, and then when you pay it right back. Because also sometimes you get into these loans where you can't pay it back for a period of time. It's like that's their business model to keep you on the hook for a couple of years because they get the interest. Really, the whole world is revolves around money being lent. That's how the economy cracked. You know what I mean? Like money is the biggest commodity in the world,
Well, you know
which
what?
I've learned.
Well, I'll tell you what I found too is that we teach a concept in the Black Wealth Boot Camp called economic fortification, where you have a group of entrepreneurs that are all running their businesses, but they're kind of like an economic family. They trust each other. They loan money to each other. So what we do,
Where
say it again.
where are they?
Where are they?
I need to a circle.
But you can join, man. You're definitely welcome. Well, you kind of are in the circle. We're like we're friends now, man, and I know we've been working together. And so, basically, what happens is when you have a group of other entrepreneurs around you, it's almost like a group of mothers who watch each other's kids. You know what I mean? And or feed each other's kids. If you ain't got no food in the house, it's okay. Your babies will still get to eat. So we feed each other's businesses in the sense that if you have an audience that my product can sell to, I'll make a deal with you, an affiliate deal, where I'll give you maybe 40%, and you push it to your audience, and we're both getting money. And then you do the same thing with me. Also, there's a market in terms of like borrowing and lending. Like if I know you can trust me and I can trust you, then if you're short 5,000 or 10 or whatever the amount is, I can loan you that money. You know what I mean? There's an understanding because we've worked together in the past. Everybody knows each other. So I find that is a great way to get financing because a lot of times your friends will loan you money interest free if it's not that much money.
Well, yeah, if they're your friend.
Right,
But
right.
we had something like that in the street, and actually, it was what the what Rockefeller was built on was a concept called the circle of success. And what it meant was that, and I said it in backstage. I explained it in backstage. Was that if let's say there's 10 of us, and that was why our agenda was always to get all 10 of us rich. Because if I go broke, I could just take a little from each of you without it hurting you, and I'm rich again. You understand what I'm saying? So let's say there's 10 of us, and I need $1 million, 100,000 from each person. I'm a millionaire all over again, and everyone else, has only had to give up 10, 100,000. There's nothing that's going to crack you. So it was the biggest form of security was to keep your friends rich because whenever you need them, they'd be there for you. But it's crazy because I was thinking about how many of my friends really subscribed to that, and they ended up being a fucking farce. None of them. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I was the
right.
only one that was down for that. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? So
in a way, it's like I agree with what you're saying. I mean, it's rare to find people that understand the code of the importance of giving in order to receive. You know what I mean? Like you give to the community so that everybody wins, everybody benefits. So many people think about entrepreneurship in a silo, like I'm gonna get mines and I will take money, but I'm not putting anything out because there's no trust there, right? So
well,
so
not
so you're
not
right
to
though.
the point.
I love that idea.
I think my problem was, when you're the breadwinner around your crew, you're always expected to be the only one to have a lot of money, and no one
Yep.
expects that they're ever going to have it. You know what I'm saying? They're
Yep.
like, I'll never get in that circle. And then when it comes to a time, because everyone, has a timing issue or, makes a wrong move or something at some point in their life. It
Hmm.
happens at all times. And it's just like a lot of the people you give to, they're just never ready to give back. They're never ready to be exposed, or they're always looking at it like, I got to keep all I got, even though you've helped me get it. They still don't want to give it up. It's just a concept that's really hard for the average human being. But if you even listen to Reasonable Doubt, Jay Z makes reference to it in the record called "Feeling It," and he's like, "If every nigga in your clique, your rich is rugged, no wonder they'll all be each other's clutches." You listen to it one day, but he didn't believe in
Well,
it.
well, I tell you, man, I think that I think that that's just such a powerful idea
Sorry
because
about hey, sorry about that. Get out
also
of here. They just come in and fight. They didn't come in to say hi. They came in to
wow.
growl.
Well, they learned to fight from you, I guess, right? They live with a fighter, but I'll say this, man. I think that's important to know. I mean, I like that point you made because the mafia gets this. You know what I mean? Like you get mafia families where they, if one person's successful, you expected to give your friends a taste of that. You know what I mean? Like
You don't have too much choice.
what you say? What you say?
You don't have too much choice in the
Well,
mob.
right. You don't have a choice. Right. I mean, and the thing is, it makes sense in the sense that like if I'm doing really well and I've got five people around me that I trust and we're all on the same page, Why wouldn't I? If I'm looking to hire somebody, why would I not hire you so you can get a taste of it? If you need financing, why would I not finance you a little bit in your project so you can get a taste? Because the other thing I found, and I've done this actually, I've done this in practice where I have supported people, just as much as possible. And when they became successful, that was another partner I had that could have
Right.
my back. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
but it's a rule that's
absolutely.
only applied to people who think the same way. You can't do that with people that are going to be selfish, as you talked about.
But just put it like this: you see me doing any business with Kevin Hart, with Lee Daniels, with Jay Z, with Rachel Roy? None of them.
Wow, you said enough, man. Well, oh well. All
I
right.
mean,